First, would like to thank you all for coming and attending this divine lecture, because I see the more and more that this is able to progress through time, the more and more diviner, if I may be able to use that word, each lecture becomes. It becomes more and more divine because of the significance and the symbolism of progressing through time with a powerful message like this. The longer that I'm able to speak, the more obstacles that I have transcended and went beyond to continue to deliver this powerful message. So each lecture has become very ceremonial. Something that has originally started off very simple, of me just simply speaking and sharing my ideas and developing my own thoughts, has grew into a very powerful Black consciousness revolutionary movement. So as it progresses through time, seeing all of the odds and all the challenges and circumstances that have come at messages like this, seeing all the manifestations in our history of our ancestors who were challenged for having a message like this and standing in this particular position. So to be standing in this position and having this message and bringing it back at you again, it's a very ceremonial occasion. A message like this don't come without challenges. It don't come without being challenged. It don't come without having to be a real revolutionary at the beginning, middle, and the end of the day. Having a message like this is in alignment with all those things that I mentioned. So to continue in the future, becoming more and more powerful, massing more force and momentum, it's becoming more and more miraculous. It's becoming more and more amazing the further that it moves on to the future. It's becoming death-defying. It's defying all the odds. It's becoming even more the greatest adventure that any man or woman could possibly take on. Any Black man or woman could take on. It's becoming more and more of that. It's making more people liars. Every day that it continues to go by, people say, you can't do this, you can't, the Black supremacy is not going to work, the people are not ready for this, the white man is too powerful. Look at society, look at the condition of our people, and they don't want to learn, they don't want to know nothing, they don't want to learn or know anything. So the further that this moves into the future, the more miraculous it is. So I have to take time at the beginning of this lecture and really show my real appreciation and show the honor I have for self and for those who have been able to stay planted and firm on the path of Black supremacy, and those that are here, and those who are learning and in their stage of growth and development, wherever they are, on their path and their journey to Black supremacy. I have to show appreciation and honor, because this message of Black supremacy is more powerful than any message that has come before us. It is raw, uncut, absolute, pure, unadulterated, without compromise. It's the most significant part of every lecture, of every school of thought, and of all the information that has reached our Black conscious community. Just to give you an example in opening, my son asked me a question. He asked me, and this will open it up. He said, how does Allah relate to Black supremacy? Because he's with the nation of gods and earth, as known to some as the 5%ers. And he said, what does Allah have to do with Black supremacy? And I said the teachings, from what I know of the NGE, is they teach that the black man is a supreme being. So I said black supremacy is very consistent with the essence of the teachings of the NGE. I'm about to go in now. We are a supreme being. As black supremacists, we stand in each and every moment of our existence as being that black supreme being. We stand in the realization of that's who we are, and that we are the makers and owners and rulers of this planet Earth. The black supremacist stands in that. And they challenge themselves to stand in that position even more and more every single day, without doubt or contradiction. To keep challenging ourselves to stand in that. So I said it's very consistent. But this is the unique aspect about black supremacy. I said, we found out that we were God and that we were supreme beings through Master Farad Muhammad, who came and taught us that we're gods. He came and taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that the black man is God. Even before him, Noble Drew Ali spoke on us being one with Allah. But Farad Muhammad came very direct with his message and said that the black man is God. But he added some Arabic aspects to his teachings. It was a little Arabism mixed in there. And if we see the evolution of the Nation of Islam, especially looking at the teachings of Minister Louis Farrakhan, we see the Arab influence. We see a catering to the Arab religion and a catering to the Arab way of life specifically. We see the Arab words being used and the Arab's culture being held in very high esteem. We see the Arab feeling as though he has some authority over the use of the Arabic language in Allah. It's a confusion. If you say the black man is the original Arabian and that we're the original Arabs, fine. Great argument. But there's some confusion with the Arab when we start talking about Allah, and they feel like they have some authority, and that turns into an argument. Whether it's a theological argument or a historical argument, the Arab feels like when you use Allah, the word Allah, that he has some authority there with that word. So we wanted to get down to the raw aspect without the Arabism, Judaism, the Christianity. Because the black man's history predates the existence of all of those religions and ways of life, according to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Our history is over 76 trillion years old. We predate all religions, all religious theology, and all religious ideology. We are the original people of the planet Earth. We made the earth. So we made the earth. We could not be under no religion. Am I right? That has come along 1,600 years ago. It's impossible for us to fall under these religions because who we are exists before that. Who we are is even older than the Arabic language. I'm going in now because there are older languages than the Arab language, the Arab being one of the oldest. And any of the scholars will verify that information, that there are older language and older forms of writings. We have not Arabic, but we have Aramic, right? We have older forms of writing of cuneiform, something the forms that the hieroglyphs was written in. The Medu, we have older languages than Arab. So the Arab language is not of the oldest. It may be one of the oldest that this Western world knows about, or many are coming into the knowledge of. So what point am I making? Who we are predates the Arab. We was defined before the Arab came into Africa, into Sudan, into north parts of Africa, and start to conquer and make the African people slaves. We were divine before then. We were divine before Prophet Muhammad got enlightened from his state of deep ignorance and his state of utter darkness and the darkness of the Arab people during the time of their enlightenment to who and what Allah is. We were divine before this time even existed. So how do we get back to that divinity? How do we get back to our understanding of who we were before we begin to mix up and mix in with all of these later cultures, ideologies, and religious theologies? How do we get back to that, like we used to say in the Moorish Science Temple of America, that old time religion? How do we get back into that ancient selfhood? In the Moorish Science Temple of America, they used to teach us that we are what our forefathers are without doubt or contradiction. And if we are that, how can we attach ourselves to religions and ways of life that are younger than who we are? So I said, when we talk about black supremacy, we're taking the raw essence from all of them back, because the essence is in them. None of our contributions to the civilizations of mankind can be denied or ignored, no matter who they are, Arab, Chinaman, Hindu. We have made our contributions. And within all their forms and theologies and ideologies and sciences and social studies, our ancient way of life is embedded within them. We can take it all back from all of them. But we have to take it back in a way that does not place us under them or even place them with having the perception that we're beneath them. We say we're Muslims. The Arab automatically feels that we're beneath him. The Prophet Muhammad has come to us. He is our prophet, right? He is our messenger. He came to our people. And you need to be under us because we are the people of the book. And is that what it says? They live around the Kaaba in Mecca. They ultimately populate Saudi Arabia. So the people of the book of the holy city of Mecca is the pure Arab. If we look at what is going on in Saudi Arabia today, they acknowledge themselves as being the people of the book. So when we say we are Muslims, what happens? They feel like they have an extra authority over us, that they can walk the sunnah better, and they understand this, what is considered to be pristine and pure language. They understand it better than we do because they were born speaking it. They were born reading the Quran. When a child is a baby and gets old enough to take honey, they read surahs of the Quran and they give honey to the child to make him associate the Quran with something sweet. So this Prophet Muhammad, they see as their prophet. They see as one of them. And even if our scholars argue that he was really us and that he was really melanated, even though he had a black slave by the name of Bilal that he helped liberate. Even if you argue with those facts, with the fact that we know he had a black slave or servant, even if we argue that he, after that, say he's still black, there were so many divine black leaders, warriors, and guides way before Prophet Muhammad. Am I correct? We did not just show up 1,600 years ago. We did not just show up with the Moors that conquered Spain. Our history goes even further to that. And if they argue that Arabic is the purest language, the only purest language that we have, the language of God, the language of the original black man, the maker and owner of the planet Earth, is consciousness. That is our original language, of which all languages have come from. So the purest language is the language that man speaks to himself within the triple darkness of his own mind. What language is that? Consciousness. This is the purest language. The language, the oldest and most ancient language, the language of God, is consciousness.